now I'm gonna share screen. Let's see. I think this is what I want. Oh no, that's not what I want this. Okay, then y'all can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay, then I think this is what I want. Okay, yes. Okay, well, welcome to my lesson plan. All right, so today my objectives are gonna be, 1, at the conclusion of the lesson, students will be able to identify the 3 different book awards discussed and how books are chosen for the award. Number 2, students will learn about different characters and interpret how their lives are similar or different to each protagonist. 3, students will use Canva to create a book poster to demonstrate their understanding of why books are chosen for these prestigious awards. And then number 4, students will learn about diversity in books and how that can relate to their everyday life. All right, so if you can see these books on the screen, one question I have is, what do you think these 5 books have in common?
They represent an underrepresented community.
Mm-hmm.
They have the Prince Award.
I was gonna say they all want some type of award.
Yeah, I was gonna say they have the stickers on their books, but yes, that is right. They have all won some type of award. But those are all good answers. Okay. So first question to discuss. What do you think merits a book winning an award?
Meeting the qualifications. I mean, when we're reading the different books that we have in this class, and they're telling you it needs to be written within the last year, or it needs to be focused on this specific age group, or this type of genre. So that's what I think. Meeting the different categories.
Yes, that's a great answer. Anyone else?
I think winners are chosen for book awards based on their specific requirements as well. And it's just a matter of when we don't understand why a book was chosen for such an award, even the Prince Award, it's just a matter of going back and reviewing, oh, this book qualified, this book won because of this, and this.
Yes, that's a good one too. So now my next question is, have you ever read a book that has won an award?
Yes.
Or that you can think of, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And that takes us into the book awards we are going to talk about today. Okay. So the first one is the Bura Belpre Award, which is an award given out annually to a Latino/Latina writer and illustrator whose work best portrays, affirms, and celebrates the Latino culture experience in an outstanding work of literature for children and youth. So the award is named after Bura Belpre, who was the first Latina librarian at the New York City Public Library. And then the Coretta Scott King Award is given annually to outstanding African-American authors and illustrators of books for children and young adults that demonstrate an appreciation of African-American culture and universal human values. So the award commemorates the life and work of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and honors his wife, Miss Coretta Scott King, for her courage and determination to continue the work for peace and world brotherhood. So those are 2 of the awards that we're going to be discussing. And then the third one, which, as you saw, most of those books in the first picture had won the Michael L. Prince Award. So the Michael L. Prince Award is an award that honors the best book written for teens based entirely on its literary merit. So the award is given out annually. So according to ALA, the award namesake was a school librarian in Topeka, Kansas, and a marketing consultant for Iconoclad, as well as an active member of YALSA. He had a passion for books and reading. He also appreciated the authors who wrote books for young adults and demonstrated this by initiating an author in residence program at school. So that's just a little bit about the book awards. And then here we're going to get into some submission criteria for the 3 book awards. So to be eligible for the Bura Belpre Award, books must have been published in the United States and Puerto Rico. It could be in Puerto Rico too. The author illustrator is a resident or citizen of the United States or Puerto Rico, published in Spanish, English, or both, and published within the last year. So that one doesn't seem that much, that have a whole lot of criteria. But the Coretta Scott King Award must portray some aspect of the Black experience past, present, or future, must be written / illustrated by an African American, must be published in the US in the year preceding presentation of the award. So for example, only books published in 2023 will qualify for the 2024 award, must be an original work, and then it must meet established standards of quality writing for youth, which include clear plot, well-drawn characters which portray growth and development during the course of the story, writing style which is consistent with and suitable to the age intended, and accuracy. All right, so now we get into the submission criteria for the Michael L. Prince Award. So the award-winning book may be fiction, nonfiction, poetry, or an anthology. Some books must have been published between January 1st and December 31st of the year preceding announcement of the award. Excuse me. To be eligible, a title must have been designed by its publisher as being either a young adult book or one published for the age range that YALSA defines as young adult, so i.e. 12 through 18, and adult books are not eligible. Okay, so we're going to start. I'm going to do book talks, but they're more of like a summary of each book, and so I have 3 books for the 3 different book awards. So the first one is called The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo. So this novel is a novel in verse, and it follows Xiomara, a 15-year-old Hispanic girl who is trying to navigate the obstacles that come with being a teenager, Catholic, and a twin. Throughout the novel, we see through small poems Xiomara at her best and also at her worst. She deals with many difficult topics, such as being sexualized by men, trying to live up to her mother's standards, as well as struggling to find her place in the world. So the conflict with her mother is one of the main driving points of the novel and shows how difficult it can be for young girls growing up in a Hispanic household. So this award actually won the Prince Award, the National Book Award, and the Pura Belpre Award. This one's pretty highly decorated, but we're talking about for this one, it won the Pura Belpre Award in 2019. And so I have just one quote from the book that I feel like encapsulate a lot of the main conflict within the novel. So it's one of the few things Twin and I argue about, how he never has to do half the cleaning shit I do, but is still better liked by mommy. Okay, and then we're going to get into Firekeeper's Daughter. And I forgot, but I'd like to preface this with some of these books have some difficult topics / issues that are written about. So if any of those, yeah, I would suggest you look up content warnings and then go from there, because not every book is meant for every person. So I would just encourage you to look up those content warnings and just be mindful of that. So going into Firekeeper's Daughter by Angeline Bully. So Firekeeper's Daughter follows 18-year-old Donis Fontaine as she is transitioning from high school into college. So the novel takes place the summer after her senior year. So Donis is half Native American and half white, and throughout the book, she struggles to fit in anywhere. She feels as she is on the outside of both of her communities. So things start to go wrong when she witnesses a shocking murder and must go undercover to help the FBI solve this mystery. The deceptions and deaths keep piling up, and soon the threat strikes too close to home. How far will she go to protect her community if it means tearing apart the only world she's ever known? So this one won the Michael L. Prince Award in 2022. And then I have the quote that I think really encapsulate the whole, like a lot of the main theme of the novel. So my whole life, I've been seeking validation of my identity from others. Now that it's within my reach, I realize I don't need it. All right. And then our last book is The Hate U Give by Angie Thomas. So The Hate U Give is a young adult novel by Angie Thomas that follows the protagonist, Star Carter. Her whole world is turned upside down when one of her friends is killed by a police officer during a traffic stop. Star lives 2 different lives. In Garden City, she is free to be herself, while at prep school, she is Star 2.0. She doesn't make waves or give anyone a reason to think she's trouble. After her friend is killed, she must decide if speaking up is the right choice and face the social consequences that come with it. So this one won the award in 2018. I want to say it came out around that same time. And this one is a big one because of all the noise surrounding it with intellectual freedom and censorship. This one, if you go to the ALA's list of like banned books, you'll most likely find this on the list every year because that's how highly like controversial it is. And so here's a quote from the novel. So what's the point of having a voice if you're going to be silent in those moments you shouldn't be? I felt like that was it encapsulates the novel very well. All right, so now I have a few discussion questions. And I know I wasn't able to, I did 3, so just answer these as best as you can. Based on the book talks, do you think these books deserve the award they received? And like I said, it's kind of a little difficult because if you were to actually read the book, then you could accurately judge if they want, if you think they deserve the award, but just off of that.
Yes, I mean, they met the qualifications
Mhm.
to receive the award.
Mhm.
So, I mean, obviously, they did. They were either
Mhm.
published within the last year or the book is meant for teens.
Mhm. Yeah.
And
Mhm.
they're about teens, so.
Yeah, so yeah, they definitely met the criteria. Okay, and then I can go ahead and move on to my next question, which is, I forgot to mention that too, but if you notice, all 3 of the authors that I discussed, they were all women of color. So my
Mhm.
next question is, why is it important for people of color to tell their stories?
I
Because
think
in
it's
some
important for
way,
kids.
Go
Oh, I'm
ahead.
sorry.
No, go ahead, Jill.
Oh, just really quickly, I think it's important for people to be able to see themselves in stories. And so that's why it's important that we have diverse set of books, like different people writing. Because if it's only from the perspective of one person, it's not very inclusive of everyone.
Yes, I agree. Jacqueline, you have anything you wanted to input?
Yeah. I think it's important for people of color to tell their stories because there are, especially like Angie Thomas and Elizabeth Acevedo, they're very personable in their writing. So it's easier for students and people to connect to what they're saying. And Poet X, through her novel in verse and just kind of going through all the motions, and even in Elizabeth Acevedo's With the Fire on High, and it talks about teen pregnancy.
Mm-hmm.
It really, and it doesn't shine a negative light on going through that as a minority.
Mm-hmm.
It can empower a student who's going through such difficult times or something similar, or someone they know, and say, hey, you know what, you can still be and become whoever you want to be regardless of teen pregnancy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was very well said. Very well said. Okay, then my last question is, are there any books by people of color that you have read recently or not recently that have stood out to you?
Well, I just finished reading Swim Team for our book reviews,
Mm-hmm.
and that was a really good book just because it was a graphic novel about a girl who she basically got put on the swim team, never swam before, and it kind of talks about the stereotype of like Black people can't swim. But it was interesting because it went into the history of like why people even started saying that in the first place, and it really gave me a different perspective. It was really, really good.
Yeah, that's why I think I like I tend to I like reading books by authors of color because then I can step into their shoes and see, like you said, like a different perspective than what you're used to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next we're gonna come to our technology integration. So we're gonna make a book poster today. So I'm just gonna walk you through this one, and then I'm gonna go ahead and give you an example, and then you can go ahead and work on yours. So I did mine over one of the 3 books, and if you've read one of the 3 books, you could do it on that one too, or if you read an award-winning book, you could do it on that one. So that's what we're trying to hone in on. So so I just created a template with Firekeeper's Daughter, and so I just added a bunch of different stickers. Like hockey is like a main is the sport that they play in this novel, so that's a big that's a big activity in Donis's life. So I put some hockey sticks, and then she gets recruited by the FBI to be an informant for them. So I put the FBI the bulletproof vest, and then it is a mystery because they're trying to solve like what is happening in this community. There's a bunch of drugs and they don't know where it's coming from, so I put the mystery there. And then there's a lot of family relationships that are being dissected. So she has her dad, which was who was Native American, and he has a whole side of his family, and so she struggles with figuring out how she fits in there. And then she also has her half brother that's on her dad's side, and they have a tight relationship, but you see that kind of change throughout the novel. And then on the other side, on her mom's side, which I think they're French, so you see how she struggles to fit in with them. So there's a lot of like familial relationships that are being dissected in this novel. And then there's a lot of girl power, like the women really stand up for each other in this novel, so I really like that. So I added that little image there. And then there are a few deaths that are very traumatic for Donis, and so I put this one for like to symbolize grief. So I'm gonna go ahead and let me get to, I can't even see it. How am I supposed to get, oh wait. Okay, there's Canva. So let me go ahead. I can put it in the chat, but y'all are pretty much just gonna get on Canva. Let's see, where am I? I don't even know where I'm at. Oh wait. Oh, there's the chat. I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm just gonna type in, and then y'all can create your own for a book that's won an award that you've read. And I can go ahead and if y'all, well, I can walk you through one as well. Let's see, because I just pretty much, so all I did was search book poster, and I think it gave me books poster, which is fine. But if you do that in Canva, it'll give you templates that are already kind of pre-made, and you can look at if it loads. Yeah, so you can look at that. So let's see. I think I saw one earlier that I liked. Let's see. Where is it? Let's see. So you can just click on any one that you like. Oh yeah, look here. So I like this one that says welcome to our book club, and you can just customize, you should be able to customize the template. And then once it loads, you can zoom in if you need to. Let me see, that's too much. Okay. And then I just like, so I like where it says book club. So I'm just gonna like delete that and then just put the Poet X and then delete everything else that I don't want. Maybe I know how to use Canva. Delete all this. Okay. Oh look, oh I wanted, oh no, that still works. Okay. So I'm gonna delete that, then we're gonna delete all this. Okay. So I'm just gonna do that. And then pretty much all I did was go to the elements. And I know if you have a free version of Canva, you can't access all the elements, but you can still use them. You should be able to still use them. You just can't like download it or save it. So, which is fine for this activity. So like I just do like themes within the novel. So like if she struggles in the Poet X with being Catholic, so I could just put Catholic. And then like there we go. We got some graphics, some different graphics of Catholic. I could enter that. She's a twin. So I could put, okay, let's see if we can find one. A twin, yeah. Oh, look, there's a cute little ghost one, but that one would work fine. And just things like that. So if you think of, and I didn't even think of a good way for you to, for us to share these with each other. So you can just create one and we can talk about it after you're done. I'll go ahead and give y'all like 2-3 minutes if that's good with y'all. Let's see if I can do feelings. There we go. Could use that one. Could use, or we could use something like that. And you can always change like the different colors or things like that.
The book can talk about the flyer we're coming up with can be
Mhm.
from any award, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And you could even add like your own pictures. I know you can upload like from the internet too if you wanted to as well. I don't know. I don't think there's a way that I did not think this that well through that we could share them with each other. I guess if you were able to download it, you could just download it or you could share and copy. I think you can copy the link. So if y'all can do that or you'd want to do that. Oh well. Oh yeah, so if as long as anyone with the link. But if you have like pro images or whatever, then that's fine too. And we can just talk about it. So it's up to y'all. See. And then you can copy link and then you could post it. I think that would work. All right, let's see. Okay. Has everyone been able to do their book poster? Or are y'all still working on it?
Still working.
Okay.
Still work.
Okay. Sounds good. Just give me a thumbs up in the chat when y'all are good. Or if you just want to send the link. If you can.
I sent my link. I don't know if it.
Yeah, I can look. Let's see. What is it? Hold on, let's see.
If not, I can tell you what I put on there.
Hold on, let me see if it's gonna let me. Oh,
Oh, you don't have permission.
no. Oh, that's all right. We can just talk about it. It's because it takes me to Microsoft Edge every time.
Oh,
Like Google's in my default, I guess. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna give you all about 40 seconds to finish up.
I put a different one. I don't know if that's any
Okay,
different or
yeah, I
not.
could look. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know why that's like my default. Maybe it'll work. Oh, look, it worked. I think it worked.
I only put 5 images.
Oh no, that's fine. See? Oh, see, no, that's great. Yeah.
Okay, don't judge that. But
No, it looks good. What are you talking about? That's how mine look. They look good. Yeah, because you got the swim team, you got the dad, a medal.
okay, whenever you're ready, I can share it.
Okay,
whenever
yeah,
you're
yeah.
ready to share it. Okay, so because I talked about swim team earlier, I just read that book. So the images I chose, so the first one is just she deals with a lot of like negative inner thoughts, like and anxiety. So that's what that person over there just going through all these like inner thoughts that people don't necessarily see. Put a pool in there because it's about her joining a swim team, gold medal because they won the relay. Put the word dad because she actually lives with her father. It's just her and her dad. And then down at the bottom, the story dealt with a lot about friendship. So those
Oh,
are our pictures.
No, that was good. Okay, so I only have about 10 minutes left. So if y'all want to just give me like a brief synopsis of what y'all's was about, we can do that. Or if you don't want to share, you don't have to share. It's up to you. Or you can put it in the chat and we can just all look at it. It's up to you. Okay, there's Jacqueline's. Let's see if I can view it. Okay. Too bored. Ooh, I read that one. I think I did. Did I read that one? That sounds really familiar. Oh no, I don't think I've read this one. But that looks good. That one looks really good, Jacqueline. I like it. Okay. Then Joy, did you want to share or?
I'm still trying to figure out how to create a Zoom account.
Okay, yes, ma'am. Then we're gonna go
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
No, no,
So I
you're
didn't
all
keep
good.
you guys.
I didn't want to. If you wanted to share, I didn't want to step on your toes. So okay, well, let's go
Oh
ahead.
no, ma'am.
Okay, so we have and honestly, we don't have to look through all of these, but we have a lot of good resources to look at for different awards. And so let's just look at like what awards. So some of these first two just talk about the Caldecott and the Newbery Awards and how they came to be. This one is actually like a PDF of the Newbery Award winners, so you could always go through if you have extra time and look at these books. New Kid by Jerry Craft. I haven't read that one yet, but I'm gonna read it for the book reviews, but that's a graphic novel and I've heard that one's really good. And so you could just go through and look at these ones, and that's the Newbery. And then there's also this one I think is for adults, but it's the Andrew Carnegie Medal of Honor, medals for excellent fiction and nonfiction. And so this one they have all like the long list and then the short list and then the winners, and you could go through that as well and see those. And I thought that was it. Well, most all the books we talked about today were for young adults, and so all those awards were given out to young adults. So let's see. And then so I do have a few books similar. So if you liked Angie Thomas's The Hate You Give, or if you're gonna read it and then you want something else like it, I've heard Dear Martin is really good and very similar. And then if you liked Firekeeper's Daughter, Hearts Unbroken is really good, and this one won the American Indian Youth Literature Award. And then if you liked The Poet X with The Fire on High, which Jacqueline did mention earlier, that one won the Golden Kite Award for Young Adult Fiction. So all of these I would definitely check out if you're interested in the 3 book talks I did give earlier. Okay, and then we do have a few more resources, which like I said, they're just gives you more information on these book awards. And most book awards are the winners are chosen by committee, so that's how those book awards are chosen, and those people are like appointed or selected by by individuals in order to get those book awards, those committees made. Okay, and then so for a closer look into these authors, check out their website that have tons of cool information on them and other books they have written. And I do have links for them in the next slide. But so in conclusion, book awards are important to the book community and have showcased authors of color and their work. Having people of color tell their story is so important, and it allows us as readers to step into someone else's shoes. Having diverse stories out in the world helps people all over to not feel so alone. And Jacqueline touched up on that earlier, which I thought she did very well. And then I have, so here I have their websites, and they actually have a lot of cool stuff on here. So if you have a chance, I definitely go check it out. They show all their books, the news, like events they're having. And so that's for all 3 of the authors. And then so before you leave the library, and you don't have to do this on a piece of paper, but if you want to type it out, we kind of already talked about it, but what is the importance of book awards? And then you can answer either one. Why do you believe it is important for people of color to have their stories be told? And we actually did answer that question earlier, so whichever one you want to answer, and then you can just put it in the chat. Okay, so Jacqueline said the importance of book awards is to highlight titles that are well written and inclusive. Yes, that is a great answer. And then Jill said, I believe it is important for people of color to have their stories told because people need to see themselves represented. Yes, that's great. And then book awards are important to recognize works about minorities and special topics that can reach the younger generation. All right. Yes, those are all great answers. And then I have I thought that's it. All right. Thank y'all. And I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. If I can.